Good morning. Welcome to Mountain Vista Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Welcome to those of you here within the warmth of our sanctuary. And welcome to those on our patio, watching on screen, feeling more safe from COVID, and hopefully not feeling chilled. And welcome to those of you watching on Zoom, in the comfort and COVID safety of your personal locations. My name is Zsombor Zoltán. I'm the pastoral associate today, assisting in our service in the absence of our minister, the Reverend Matthew Frank Crary, who is on his monthly sabbatical Sunday and is recovering from COVID. I would like to acknowledge our wonderful ivory tickler, our pianist, Chris Tackett, who is also our musical director and our choir conductor. I also want us to recognize our audiovisual crew, Lee and Todd McMealy, and our camera operator today, Vin Sensky. Let me also thank our greeters this morning, Peter Betchkahazi, Barbara Seifried, and Jill Ferris, and our after-service hospitality team, Elizabeth Van Horn and Joel Yellen. And at the end of our list, to match the Z of our Zoom host, Susan Alexander, or possibly Robin Bozel. If you wish, please turn around and face the camera and wave to our Zoom participants so that we can all together experience the wholeness of our beloved community. Before I continue, I would like to confess to you that I watched that infamous Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life, with James Stewart and Donna Reed. I really like the idea that every time something rings, an angel gets its wings. Well, I'm sure this past holiday season there has been a saturation of wings distributed. Therefore, I invite you to silence your cell phones. One of the most important activities of our church community is our social justice and outreach programs. Today, we will present a service about one of our most rewarding outreach initiatives, Contigo. Contigo is a team of people whose volunteer members include not only MVUU congregants, but also a person from the Southside Presbyterian Church and several members of our local Baha'i faith, several Buddhists, and also members from the Jewish community. Contigo's mission is to provide aid to individuals and families who are asylum seekers. Contigo provides sheltering and all the other vital humanitarian life-supporting needs of these destitute children, men, and women. I, too, am a member of Contigo. I'm also an immigrant to the United States of Hungarian descent. We are in a strong cooperative relationship with Casa Alitas and the victims of torture. We seek ways to secure any and all economic and legal assistance to those persons who have landed into our care. And we are grateful to you, your participation in this effort by your past generous financial donations. Sherry Desmond May, our Contigo team's dedicated lead, will have more to say about all this as she will speak to us today. Several of our team members, Christiana Heda, Kyoko Katayama, Cecilia Valenzuela, Theda Ellis, Lori Renfield, and our current Haitian family, the Silvestras, will also present either in person or in a PowerPoint presentation or via video. We acknowledge all of those who have also contributed to today's service. We welcome you this morning, and we are delighted in sharing with you our experiences in providing assistance to those fellow human beings who have fallen into our care and concern, and who we lovingly embrace. Our Unitarian Universalist chalice is a symbolic lamp, a container to hold fuel which keeps a flame alive and burning. I am inviting you to consider our UU chalice to be a symbolic parallel to the torch held high by Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty in New York's harbor. Its dedication occurred in 1896 and has provided a vision of relief for millions of immigrants approaching our shores. I would like to quote a few lines from Emma Lazarus's poem, which has been inscribed on the pedestal of that majestic statue. Here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the airbridge harbor that twin cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Let us light our chalice to commemorate these heartfelt, famous, welcoming words to the millions of people who arrived and are still arriving, searching for a better life.
Hi, I am the Reverend Christiana Heide, a UU minister affiliated with this congregation. I love Mountain Vista UU. I became a Unitarian in this congregation when we still met in a triple-wide trailer decades ago. And I was so inspired, I started taking graduate courses for UU ministry to supplement my ministry degree I already had. I come to you with a deep love for this congregation, for you, and the outreach team called Contigo. Why do we need Contigo? A ministry to help immigrants applying for asylum? Our laws actually allow those fearing their lives to seek asylum here without prison and homelessness or being hunted by border control. The reason is because of two things: xenophobia and racism. Xenophobia means xenos from the Greek, means stranger, foreign, or alien. Phobia is a Greek word for fear. So it's the fear or dislike of anything which is perceived as being foreign or strange. Now, racism is valuing a person's worth based on their skin, hair, and features, preferring the white Anglo appearance and devaluing others. And who propagates xenophobia at this time in this country? Often it is people who call themselves patriots and Christian. People who may even use the term Christian nationalist. Now, that's an oxymoron in itself, isn't it? The Hebrew scriptures, which some call the Old Testament, and the Christian scriptures, the New Testament, are very clear about what our behavior towards any strangers and foreigners should be. Here it goes. Just a few examples. Deuteronomy 10:19, you are to love those who are foreigners. Leviticus 19:34, the foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself. Matthew 25:40, Jesus said, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. And Luke 10:27, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with your strength, and with your mind. And love your neighbor as yourself. And if you're wondering who is my neighbor, Jesus followed this up to tell the story of the Samaritan, somebody very different looking with very different traditions. So, how can a Christian show xenophobia or racism knowing these verses are in the New and Old Testament? I would say impulsively, they can't. They're a bunch of hypocrites. But I don't even know those people. So I prefer not to judge them. What I can say is I cannot fathom how a Christian can adhere to nationalist and xenophobic views. Now, how is racism and xenophobia different from one another? Let me tell you a story. I myself am an immigrant from Germany and came to this country in 1978. I got my green card. After several years, I became an American citizen. That was easy. Easy for me as a European white university student at the time. I was given preferential treatment throughout that process compared to the others, mostly brown-skinned people. I didn't know the term white privilege in the 80s, but I experienced it there. I hated it. I felt like I needed a shower. It was filthy, and the injustice of it got right to my soul. That was, by the way, not xenophobia, since they allowed some strangers to enter the country, but basically pure racism. I like finding ways to make amends and reparations to those who were mistreated and oppressed because of their country of origin, their race, their gender, their language or religion, etc. My wife, Melva, and I were honored to offer some space in our home to Haitian immigrants. What a joy. With Contigo's help, of course. Whether we are Christians or not, or neither, or who knows, we are at a crossroads, nationally, personally, and spiritually. How do you feel about those who are other? Those who speak or live differently, or pray differently, if at all. If hesitancy and fear sneak in, that means you're human. The question is what you do with it. Are you willing to set aside your fear? Do we choose to love and welcome any stranger simply because they're human beings deserving of justice and respect? Do we choose to go forward with love or step back with fear? Please join me in a brief meditation. I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths. Breathe in deep, breathe out long. One more time, breathe in deep, breathe out long, and then let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Close your eyes if that is comfortable for you. Notice this sensation of breathing. What does your in-breath feel like? And how about your out-breath? How does it feel differently? Which sensation do you like best right now? Just notice. And listen. Can you hear your own in-breath and out-breath? Which one is louder, in or out? Let's go inside just a bit further, to the place where love dwells. To find it, just think of a person from whom you received love and one who gave you love. Feel that love. Notice where in your body it seems to live. While you are basking in love, let this love expand. Join the love of all those here, encompass them. Let it grow further, expand to include the whole Tucson metropolitan area, every person. As you picture them, you may notice some are American-born, some not, some are rich, some are poor. You may notice some look pretty white, others tan or brown. Just notice how your love and our love can move past those illusions of otherness. Let love expand to all who are oppressed on this planet. And if you're open to it, consider sharing that love just once this week, however it feels right. Stay with love, giving and receiving, as we become present here once more. May we find truth and love within and act on it fearlessly. Amen.
We will now have a meditative poetry reading by Kyoko Katayama. She was born and grew up in Tokyo, Japan. She came to the US when she was 17 and had an abundance of immigrant experience. She is a writer, retired psychotherapist, and a happy snowbird from Minnesota.
I'm going to share a poem by Wang Ping. Wang Ping escaped Cultural Revolution from China, Shanghai, and I just found out, happily, that she's also a resident of St. Paul, Minnesota, where I live when it's not so cold. Things We Carry on the Sea by Wang Ping. We carry tears in our eyes. Goodbye, Father. Goodbye, Mother. We carry soil in small bags. May home never fade in our hearts. We carry names, stories, memories of our villages, fields, boats. We carry scars from proxy wars of greed. We carry carnage of mining, droughts, floods, genocides. We carry dust of our families and neighbors incinerated in mushroom clouds. We carry our islands sinking under the sea. We carry our hands, feet, bones, hearts, and best mind for a new life. We carry diplomas, medicine, engineer, nurse, education, math, poetry, even if they mean nothing to the other shore. We carry railroads, plantations, laundromats, bodegas, taco trucks, farms, factories, nursing homes, hospitals, schools, temples built on our ancestors' backs. We carry old homes along the spine and new dreams in our chests. We carry yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We are orphans of the wars forced upon us. We are refugees of the sea rising from industrial waste. And we carry our mother tongues. Ai, hub, liebe, amor, love, pianan, hewa, salam, shalom, paz, peace, shiwan, amal, hoffen, esperanza, hope, 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 as we drift in our rubber boats from shore to shore to shore.
Sherry Desmond May is a member of our congregation. Most of us are well acquainted with her. She has been a Unitarian Universalist and a practicing Buddhist for around 4 decades. Before retirement, Sherry was a psychologist in private practice, specializing in couples counseling. She has been a dedicated lead to our Contigo team. She has a huge heart. Here now, she will share her and our experiences with our history and our guests as we refer to them. Sherry.
Hello, Mountain Vista. I'm new at this kind of presentation, so if I seem a bit anxious or get emotional, please forgive me. I also want to say that Kyoko, who you have just met, shared significantly in the writing and many edits of this talk. She's a Contigo team member and a dear friend. We are happy to have here today as our guests, Kesnel and Giveland. They are sitting over here, and Kesnel is with their child, Kerr Winsley, who seems to be having a hard time of being separated. I think he's used to being either on their body or close to them. Here he is. So Kesnel, stay standing up just for one moment. He doesn't understand. Yeah. So here they are. They will be here after the service. Please go up and welcome them. If you speak Spanish or French, even a little bit of a greeting would warm their hearts. Thank you. So for the past 2.5 years, I've been involved in an exciting and daunting learning adventure called Contigo. It's one of our MVUU social justice ministries. When Reverend Matthew introduced the theme of radical hospitality, Contigo came to mind immediately, as we have learned how to ride the waves of continual and unforeseen changes. So what is Contigo anyway? Over time, it has become an interfaith immigration justice ministry. We serve asylum seekers, mostly from Tucson. Contigo means with you in Spanish, and we use the term accompaniment to refer to the physical, financial, and emotional support we offer. It is one way that I and we embody our UU principles of the inherent worth and dignity of every human being, and standing for justice, equity, and compassion in human relationships. How did we get started? Well, in 2020, I met Cecilia Valenzuela, an immigrant from Chile, a longtime activist in immigration work. You'll see and hear more from her later today. She told me about an asylum seeker who had been abandoned as a baby in a trash dumpster in their native country. As this young man grew up and made it to the border to seek asylum, he was not allowed into the U.S. because he didn't have a sponsor and he didn't have a temporary place to live. He was stuck at the border in a horrendous situation. Cecilia knew too many others in similar predicaments, and she asked for my help. What could I do? Knowing that anything I could do on my own would be very limited, I imagined that much more could be done with the support of a community. So I came to you, my beloved church, and with Reverend Sam's diligent help, here we are 2.5 years later. So who are we? Well, we've grown to become a team of volunteers, some 30 or more, from diverse faith traditions and ethnic backgrounds. As you heard, we have UU, Baha'i, Buddhist, Christian, Mennonite, and Jewish team members. And a number on our team are immigrants themselves. And these particular remarkable individuals have made all the difference, offering such a rich diversity of perspectives, sensitivities, and insight. We have learned that on this radical immigration journey, nothing is set in stone, believe me. We have to be open to whatever arises. It's been a roller coaster ride, highs, lows, obstacles, triumphs, and amidst it all, surprises. You could even call them miracles. We have had so much to learn about temporary protected status, TPS for Haitians, about why a work permit is so critical, how do you support yourselves without one, and what it takes to apply and get one, and wait for one. How do you communicate with a Haitian Creole speaker who cannot read? Well, you figure it out. You learn Google Translate, but that just sends written messages. Then you realize you can just press a button and it turns it into an audio message. So they hear your message in their language right then. Who knew? I certainly didn't. Over and over, we have faced our complicated, convoluted, and dysfunctional immigration system. We've heard firsthand how inhumanely those in detention are often treated by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement personnel, and how desperate people have to be to flee their homes, their family, language and culture, and everything they know for the unknown and the dangers of crossing miles, even countries on foot and bus, with only the quest for a safer, more abundant life urging them on. My experiences with Contigo have definitely impacted, softened, and transformed me. I have been humbled to see how limited my white middle-class view of human life was before this experience. I have listened to so many personal stories of loss and trauma. Most of our guests have gone through unimaginable suffering and hardships, both in their native countries and on their way to the border, risking everything, sometimes life itself, to have a chance at a better, safer existence. I have also witnessed the amazing beauty and strength of both our asylum seekers as well as those who are volunteering to help them. Having these guests go from being unknown strangers to being people I cherish has changed my view of what it means to work for a just and fair society, where every person has worth and dignity. This work has been challenging, to put it mildly, but it has also given me much joy, as well as a renewed sense of meaning and purpose. Now, for a glimpse of what it's been like to be on this journey. We're going to have a slideshow. Who were our first guests? For 6 months in 2020 and 21, Olga and Alex from Russia stayed at the home of Melanie Landa and Mike Multan. Here you see them with Ruha from our Contigo team and myself. Ruha is an immigrant from Iran and speaks 7 languages and has lived on many continents in her life. Olga and Alex have now received asylum and are in Phoenix with jobs and a solid start to their new lives. Our second set of guests were Jocelyn and Juvenie, 2 single, unrelated adult men from Haiti. Here they are on Mount Lemon, taken there by none other than our very own Jean-Bor Zoltan. Jean-Bor has become our driver extraordinaire, tour guide, and transportation guru, offering every guest we've had his wholehearted and thoughtful presence again and again and again. Reverend Christiana Heidi, Melva Ballesteros, pictured here with their beloved 4-leggeds, generously offered Jocelyn and Juvenie to stay in 2 separate apartments near their home. Here you see Christiana's artistic talents on display, Juvenie on the left and Jocelyn on the right. What fun having a resident artist at our fingertips. Here's Thanksgiving 2021. On the right, first you see our MVUU members, Joe Leonard Lopez and his wife Amanda. In the back is Juvenie, Jocelyn next to him on the left. next to Amanda's parents, Emilio, and then Lori Lopez. This amazing extended family, all speaking fluent Spanish, welcomed our guests into their homes for dinner almost every Friday night for over 6 months. That is what I call hosting with a great heart. Joe became their sponsor and immigration attorney. They most certainly created and became family for our two. In this next slide, you see Jocelyn playing with Laser, Joe and Amanda's 3-year-old, who seems to be doing some kind of advanced yoga posture. And here are Jocelyn and Juvenie at gatherings for their respective goodbye celebrations. And between the two group pictures, a special moment shared by Kyoko and Jocelyn. And then to the next slide. Can't you just feel the happiness and surrounding community that's here? Both of these guests have moved on to other places. Juvenie has just received his work permit after waiting for over a year to be able to legally work, and is happily living in San Diego. Jocelyn is in New Jersey. He's in the red shirt there. Both keep in touch and are eager to come back to visit their family here in Tucson. That's what we have become for them, family, in the best sense of the word. And that brings us to our third accompaniment and our current family, also from Haiti, Kivaland, Kesnel, and their son Kerwinsley, who you'll have a chance to meet later on. At the bottom of this Haitian flag, I have made note of Casa Alitas with Maria Cristina and the Center for the Victims of Torture with Suri Reeves. It's too small for you to read it. I'm reading it for you. Sorry. They are both outstanding social workers, and only because of their expert guidance have we been able to take on this family with many unique needs. It does truly take a village to accompany a migrant family. Now, you're going to see a still shot of a video. It's from the Darien Gap. From Haiti to Brazil to the US, our family traversed 11 countries on foot, coming through the infamous and deadly Darien Gap, which is a roadless, lawless stretch of jungle and mountainous rainforest straddling Colombia and Panama. The following video clip is from a highly recommended PBS documentary. Please look it up when you get home. It's just called PBS documentary Darien Gap. Here you get just a taste of what it is like.
Before long, a large group of Haitians and Sri Lankans appeared. Jean Delicat, a father of 2.
It's been 6 days that we're walking without stopping. The children cry of hunger. There's no food. There's nothing.
There was nothing else for them to do but try to go ahead. These Haitians had been living legally in Brazil or Chile. Among them were 6 children and 3 pregnant women.
In the Darien Gap, Giveland had a serious injury, and that left Kesnel on his own to carry 3-month-old Kerwinsley on his front and Giveland on his back for the rest of the trip. Can you imagine the endurance and determination it took for them, let alone for everyone else who has made this trek? And now you get to see our new guest family. Giveland, 23, Kesnel, 33, and Kerwinsley, now 13 months, and sitting here quietly in the sanctuary with his parents. He is the child that has stolen our hearts. Safely here in Tucson, and in the middle of the pandemic, Christiana and Melva generously hosted father and son, Kesnel and Kerwinsley, in their small apartment right next to their home. Giveland was still in the hospital. We were told that they only needed a place temporarily. They wanted to go to Florida to settle. By the time they arrived in Tucson, Giveland had spent over 3 months in various hospitals in several countries. while Kesnell tended to Kirk Winsley on his own as a single parent. Here she is at Oro Valley Hospital with her 2 favorite visitors. The serious medical needs she came with soon became the guiding factor in where they would live. In response to her unresolving pain and infection, many of us got to work building all the critical infrastructure needed, obtaining medical insurance, food stamps, cash assistance, finding doctors, surgeons, social workers. An entire support network came to be. When our family finally made the decision to stay, we took a deep breath, knowing we would continue to be here for them, whether we felt like we were ready or not. Yet we also knew, as Grivelan was about to be released from the hospital, that we had not yet found an accessible house to house them all, home for them. Yet a miracle appears. Cecilia Valenzuela, our former Contigo member, remember her? She offers to share her home with them for 1 month. They moved there in early June last summer. They begin living together as a family unit. We discover they're both loving, conscientious parents. The family begins to thrive. Givelan begins to gain weight. Laughter is often heard from the bedroom as they relax in a more normal home routine. Enter Ermani on the left and Alain on the far right, both Haitians and full-time Tucsonians. Boy, did we luck out here. We are more than blessed to welcome them to our team. Their Haitian Creole translations are assuring us that our guests hear and understand as well as can communicate whatever they need. And believe me, this is a priceless gift. Going to the grocery store is something they really enjoy, as they both love cooking food that is close to their home and heart. But we needed a wheelchair for outings. Miraculously, one was given them as a gift. Sarah from our Baha'i contingent brings dinner and drums to an evening at Cecilia's. But wait, another miracle is about to emerge. Their new immigration attorney says their asylum case would be stronger if they were married. Are they interested? Oui, of course. That's Haitian Creole for yes. Guess who gave them a wedding? And during the pandemic, no less, you got it, Contigo. Theda and Warren Ellis offered their beautiful home. Reverend Christiana Heidi offered to perform the ceremony and did so with such a kind and tender spirit. You see why he's adorable and we fell in love with him? 2 friends made a wedding cake. Cecilia got her a dress and him a shirt and bow tie and a ring. Tom Bunch sent chocolate-covered strawberries. It was a joyful celebration. In response to their wishes for their son, Cecilia arranges for Kerr Winsley to be baptized at Southside Presbyterian Church the day before his 1-year birthday. Pastor Allison baptizes Kerr Winsley, and Southside hosts a grand birthday party. Somehow that halo just appeared magically. Cecilia, well, here she is. Their 1-month stay turns into 5 months, and she became mother, grandmother, godmother, translator, transporter, and manager of their oversized medical needs, all rolled into one human being, a superhuman task. Yet she was leaving for Chile in November, and we still had no place for our family to move to. We were really scrambling, believe me. But this next miracle takes our breath away. A Baha'i friend of Ruha's, Navid Abidian, an Iranian immigrant, suddenly appears, seemingly out of nowhere, although he's a friend of Ruha's who's on our team. He purchases a 2-bedroom townhome. Our family will be the first residents in this home, which he plans to offer to other asylum seekers and refugees in the future. For all that he has done, all that he asks is simply to be known as a humble servant. It is a very deep faith. But how will we furnish an entire home? I worried, believe me. But not to worry. All of you at MVUU and many others came forward. Within a few weeks, Melanie had everything the family needed, and some more. And Jambor drove the U-Haul to pick up and then deliver everything to their new home. We are in awe of the outpouring of generosity and goodwill. Reverend Allison from Southside blesses their new home, and Kesnel and Guiveland host a thank you gathering for Contigo at the same time. Waiting to speak, Kesnel sobs, trying to find words to express how horrific their journey was and his deep, deep gratitude for such a welcoming presence here in their new home. It's true, I have shepherded us through thick and thin. It has challenged me beyond measure, and I have witnessed blessings continually bloom right before my very eyes. I will be forever grateful for this opportunity. Hermione, as the family's current medical liaison, has brought her graceful presence and skillful training to all of us. She's dealing with multiple doctors, surgeons, appointments, and a complex medical and insurance system. Her devotion is a blessing. Our thank yous are many. Warren, Theda, Mary Nell, Mary Dupuy, who stepped up to make sure the family had some pocket money for essentials when their insurance plan dropped the ball. Peter Beshkahazi, who a Hungarian immigrant also, who took our family grocery shopping many a time early on. Monica Baer, who included Contigo as a beneficiary partner to her staged reading. Janet, a neighbor, believe this, a neighbor from across the street at the new home where they live, who works with refugees and immediately came over and is now teaching them English lessons up to 4 times a week. The blessings and miracles abound. Our Contigo team is stronger and more vibrant than ever. We're trying to say thank you to everyone. None of this would have been possible, though, without you, MVUU, and each of you who have generously helped in so many ways, not the least of which is financially. We are so grateful. It is nothing short than a handful of miracles that have brought such joy to each of us and our guests along the way. We hope you will continue to join us on this amazing journey. Southside Church, so happy to have you with us. And especially thank you, Ruha, Navid, Sarah, and Holly, our Baha'i sojourners. We are many, and we are one. Thank you, our dear family, for all the joy you have given us, for taking us as we are, and for being the very best friends we can have. The journey of radical hospitality continues. May its meaning expand and deepen, becoming our shared practice together. Thank you.
For everything. Oh, Maltweiler.
Hi, my name is Ceci Valenzuela, and I'm here to tell you about the blessing that it was to have the Silvestre Dorsinville family living with me for 5 months. One day I noticed something, and it was that we had been living together for a while, and there was so much joy around. There was calmness, there was laughter. We hadn't had any problem. And I thought, how can it be possible that people with such different upbringing, culture, and language, who had never seen each other before, can live together in harmony like this? And I reflected and thought that it was because we all had each other's well-being as a high priority. And I must give them a recognition about this. I think that they are the most courageous, considerate, and respectful couple that I have met. Well, I should have started with baby Kerwensley, who stole my heart the minute that Kesnel put him in my arms, way before they moved into my house. The day they began to call me Mom, I knew this was a road without return. And now Kerwensley is my godson, and I will be with them having as my extended family until the end of my days. They're the most courageous trio I have ever met. The recovery road for Gibran is still a little bumpy, but she shows determination, patience, and dedication to recovering her health. I would like to thank everybody that has been involved and participated in the solidarity with my Haitian family. Thank you very much.
Bonjour Contigo. Mas content pile pour tout ça nous fait pour moi, Kewensre, Givran, moi-même, merci nous tous. Okay. Hi Contigo, my name is Kessner. Thank you for doing so much for Givran, Kewensre, and me. We have very nice big home. We have a family big. We have good friends now. Thank you for everything. This is from my heart. Okay, yes.
I have a brief announcement to make. For those of you here in person, as you leave the sanctuary this morning, please note that there is a table out there in the Oasis room that holds a wooden bowl and a woven basket. The wooden bowl accepts donations to MVUU's church operations or your pledges. The woven basket accepts donations for our social justice outreach programs. This month, our woven basket is dedicated to Contigo. This month, through the end of January, will also be Contigo's annual donation drive for the year. We have received notice that Contigo has a donor who is providing a matching grant of $3,000. So all donations will be doubled if you make an offering here now or by making a donation by check from home. If you are planning to write a check, please make the check out to Mountain Vista Unitarian Universalist Church or even just MVUU. And please write Contigo in the memo line. Otherwise, we cannot process your check. So thank you in advance for your generous donations. In lighting our Unitarian Universalist chalice at the beginning of our service, I referred to our chalice as symbolically aligned with the golden flaming torch of the Statue of Liberty. That torch has been interpreted as a welcome beacon, a guiding light to those seeking refuge and freedom. But note, the woman's hand does not hold a lamp that only shines outward. It's an open flame that lights in all directions. Its light also shines inward from our shores. There, it makes visible the sordid history of our treatment of indigenous people, and just as horrifically, how early on, and for centuries, our forebears brought people from Africa unwillingly to these shores into enslavement and misery. The struggle for freedom and equality for Black Americans has been a long and incomplete battle. But there have arisen periodically outstanding spiritual individuals, leaders, many who had to make the ultimate sacrifice. One of those whom we recognize and celebrate his birthday today, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Tomorrow, Monday, has been designated a national holiday in his commemoration and honor. To quote Dr. King, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." We extinguish our chalice, release its light to shine into our hearts, to be welcoming to the stranger, work for justice and peace, and end poverty for all. Let it be so.